This is the thing about time. Time is going to pass regardless of what you do. So if there's something you want to do when you get started on it, 5 years from now, you're either going to have worked on it for 5 years or you're going to wish you started it 5 years ago. So just start. All right, so for today's talk, I picked two quotes from the chapter on thought and purpose from As A Man Thinketh by James Allen. I'm going to share the quotes, discuss them, and then let you get on with your day. The first quote is actually the opening sentence of the chapter, and he says, "Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment." Now, Merriam-Webster defines purpose as something set up as an object or an end to be obtained. Now, when we talk about purpose, your purpose doesn't have to be world-changing type of thing. And I think these days where some people will get on social media and they'll get so much attention for whatever they're talking about. Sometimes it's negative attention. It's not always positive, but they'll post something and get attention. And we hear about people like Elon Musk or Bill Gates or people that have done something that has affected the whole world. And I think that puts a little bit of pressure on people, maybe a lot of pressure on people, to feel like their purpose has to be some earth shattering, all encompassing type of subject. And for the vast majority of people, that is not going to be the case. And that is probably good and fine. It's okay. Your purpose might be to improve your neighborhood or your family or just yourself. And as far as identifying purpose, it's not the case if you're sitting around kind of thinking about what your purpose is, just stop. What are you passionate about? What do you care about? What's interesting to you? That that is sort of the seed of where your purpose should start. So if there's something that you're interested in, if there's something that you are curious about, if there's something you want to do, that gives you a place to start to either discover some purpose. Sometimes when you're curious about something or you're interested in something and you start to dig into the subject, you'll either find that you are very interested in it and that can lead to some purpose, or you might learn that you're really not as interested in it as you thought you were, and that might lead you to something else that has something to do with your purpose. Now, any good idea requires action, so just sitting around and thinking about it isn't going to get you anywhere. If there's something you want to pursue, if there's something you want to learn about, whatever it is, you've got to put some action behind it. So once you have an idea of what that is that you want to improve or get better at or work on, figure out where you need to start. And when we think about things like this, it can get really easy to get overwhelmed because if you're thinking about the scope of something that's a really big project, that can be completely overwhelming. But if you just think about where to start and what you have to do to start, then just start and just take things a day at a time. And this is the thing about time. Time is going to pass regardless of what you do. So if there's something you want to do when you get started on it, 5 years from now, you're either going to have worked on it for 5 years or you're going to wish you started it 5 years ago. So just start. Second quote: "They who have no central purpose in their life fall an easy prey to petty worries, fears, troubles, and self pityings, all of which are indications of weakness." I probably could have done two videos on this. And in fact, there's another quote that I'm going to do in a week or two. But part of what I want to get at here is when people aren't active, when they're not striving for something, there's a real possibility they can get depressed. There's a possibility that they can get sort of overwhelmed by all the stuff that we can pay attention to. There's always going to be stuff. There's always going to be things that are depressing and discouraging and ugly. That's life. So the point to this quote for me is if there's something that interests you when you're working on it and it's positive, I'm not saying wasting your time. So we're not talking about video games. We're talking about engaging in something that's healthy for you and hopefully healthy for people around you. You're not going to have the space in your head to worry about things that are petty or trivial or things that aren't really that important. Obviously, some of the things that can be distracting and discouraging are important, but and we want to acknowledge those things, but if we can't actively engage in those things, then we need to be actively engaged with our immediate world and what we can do. You don't have to find your purpose. You already know what it is. And that doesn't mean it's the purpose for your life. If there's something you're interested in right now, then that might be your purpose for right now. Work on that. That might lead to the purpose of your life. And again, the purpose of your life doesn't have to be something that's going to change the world. If it is, okay. But if it's healthy for you and you enjoy it and it's healthy for the people around you, that's a win. Go read a book. And then I choke because I hate filming.